Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, people, my people, everybody's people, welcome, welcome, welcome one, welcome all. It's the way we start Sunday, start your week off the best way, the right way. It's the Sunday Rise, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies themselves, myself, the Midnight Rider. He's the big guy, KG. We do this Sunday religiously to make sure you guys get your week going, man. So let's start this thing a little differently. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. We're in that time of year where some things come up. Um, First thing, we got some conversation around the trade deadline for the MLB coming up soon. We're going to talk a little MLB. There's some interesting stuff happening here in DC. We also have uh, our first conversation as the two of us in regards to LeBron going to Philly. We have an update on Kyle Shanahan. We had the WNBA All Star game last night, and then we're going to talk a little bit of this USA flag championships that's going on right now. And last but not least, we got we talk about NFL training camp opening up, and then we're gonna have a little story time with the Midnight Rider. I'm gonna give you a couple stories of my tales from the days of going to Carlisle. And with that being said, let's get this thing going. So Sunday Rise, Midnight Rider, Big Guy KG. I turn the show over to the Big Guy KG.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Sunday Rise. Uh, Thank you, Midnight Rider, for that rousing introduction. Before we jump off into this, just wanted to say this. If you did not watch the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs last night, we did more than SummerSlam picks. We went around the horn, per se, of the wrestling world and really got into some moves that were being made. And right after the show, a move that Sumo called was made. So go back and check that to find out what it is. But
what was that? What was the move, man?
Zoe Stark signed with let me get it right. Zoe Stark, because he talked about it last night. Right at soon as we got off. That's when the notification came in. She is Zoe Serrano now. She made a return to Rev Pro Grand Prix. And he talked about her going to the Indies. And he called it right on time. And it dropped on Facebook right after we got off the show. So that she made her debut to come back. So if you don't know, now you know. And if you don't know, pretty much anything the WrestleManiacs say, give it a between a week. No, I'm not even gonna say that. Give it between 12 hours to 2 weeks, and you'll see it on TV. I guarantee it. We good at predicting the future like that.
That's because y'all been around it so long. Like I tell people all the time, wrestling and basketball have two things in common. You can't really recreate what it is. The storylines are the storylines, right? No matter what, you're going to get a heel, a good guy, a baby face. It's going to basically it happens one of two ways. You know, you have the heel chasing the title holder, or the baby face chasing the heel that's the title holder. Like the storylines write themselves. You just got to figure out where they happen at and when they're going to happen. So that's the thing I see. So that's why you guys are always on top of it, because you guys watch it all the time.
Agreed. Not even gonna lie to you, agreed. And it's like you see the ebb and flow. So
Yeah.
Starting this off, sports related but non-player related. If you haven't heard, Kyle Shanahan was in a pretty bad accident yesterday. I know they said he had lacerations, a broken nose, some broken ribs. But they still expect him to coach week 1. I believe week 1 is in Australia for the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And he will be limited in training camp, which is coming up. So, prayers on a speedy recovery, man. Not too many details about how the accident happened or what happened.
Yeah, the main thing they've been saying about this mostly is that he's been having since the accident, because I don't know if they even told us exactly when the accident happened. But since the accident, he's had concussion like symptoms continuously. So that's part of the reason why he's starting training camp. Um, Not coaching training camp to start. He's going to try to take some time and actually allow himself to recover um, from his concussion-like symptoms and get back on the field. Now, of course, I mean, for them as a team, it's a veteran-laden team. The coaching staff has been together, and you have head coaches that are actually on the staff. So you shouldn't have too much of a drop off at all, if any at all. Um, Hold on one second. I'm trying to see something. Trying to keep us updated with week one of the Sideline Junkies college football. So yeah, just in Texas Tech 14, Florida 13, the Raiders hold off the Gators in a thrilling victory. I know that first quarter. I don't know how much if you saw any of it, but the first quarter it was 0-0, and it was like every time somebody would start a drive, there was an interception, and they flipped the field. And then the other person started driving, interception, flipped the field. Um, I wish I could have like singled in on it, but I got a bunch of TV stuff going on right now. Also, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, so interesting start to week one of, or I should say, continuation of week one in the Sideline Junkies College Football PlayStation League.
Yeah, I haven't got around to watching anybody's games. I ain't been scouting yet. But once I get to scouting, y'all in trouble.
Well, here's the one person you should know, because the Raymond Wreck beat Xavier, and I think his only thing is he doesn't trust throwing the ball deep, and it's killing him right now. Like every time I watch this game, I know where he's going, and if I know, and I don't watch him every week, the computer knows.
I'm gonna tell you something on that. I've watched him beat guys online like 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. But it's like in this league, he can't get the wins. I don't know what's the difference. I asked him, I said, why do you keep taking Colorado?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good team. Take another team, man. Take a team that's already kind of sort of at the cusp. You got to build Colorado too much, and then you're expected to play people that are way better than you.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that.
So, where you want to go next? Dealer's choice. Let's go.
Let's hit the comments, because I think Anthony started a conversation. I'm just curious about what he wanted.
Last night.
Oh, that's from last night?
Last night. This is 11:56. Anthony was almost 12 hours early for the show.
All right.
He said, before you start talking about training camp for you guys, what are your favorite overall clutch moments in sports history? He said, for me as a Marlins fan, the Luis Castillo base hit that brought in Craig Counsell in 97, and McKean put in a 23-year-old Beckett as our starter, and him shutting out the Yankees in Game 6.
That's a good one. If I think off the top of my head, I mean, let's do the easy one since we got going into training camp, and that's 4th and 1 in the Super Bowl when John Riggins takes it to the house. I think that's one of the most clutch moments in sports. Another one I can think of is, let's stay Commanders related. Since we're talking or leading into some training camp talk later on, was that week 2 against the Cowboys in Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
We had that conversation where Santana Moss catches those 2 routes. That offense was terrible the whole game. I was in my house, sitting in a chair watching the game, and it was maddening looking at this game on my TV because I was like, what are we doing? Like our offense was terrible, terrible,
Terrible.
terrible. So those would probably be two of my favorite clutch moments. I'm trying to think of something that doesn't involve the Commanders. Oh, point five. Lakers Spurs, point five. Derek Fisher off the glass for the win. Changes that series completely. Um, and then let's stay in the Lakers and let's go with the ball bouncing off the big shot Bob. Him nailing the shot against the Kings, winning that game.
Well, piggyback off one you said that Monday Night Miracle, Cowboys versus Redskins. I was living at home. We were living in Bladensburg at the time. My grandmother had passed a little bit over a year before, so it was just me and mom's in the house. And what was I doing? What was I at? I was still working at Marlowe, so she had to go to work. I was off the next day. So that was a Monday night game. I was off on that Tuesday. And so I'm in the house. The game comes on. And I'm pacing in the living room. She had went to sleep. When they scored the first touchdown, I was like, yes, yes. She called my name. I said, yeah. She said, I'm trying to sleep. I said, oh, I got you. I'm sorry. When the second one hit, I was like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. She said, God damn it, I'm going to put you the hell out. I said, you can't. He caught it. She said, what happened? I told her what happened. She said, oh, okay. Man, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful feeling. That during that time, it was a wonderful feeling. So,
oh man,
MJ's last shot as a Bull was clutch. What was that? 97 finals game 1. And that shot off the left side of the floor, the hop step, the fake the cross, and then pull up and shoot, and always etched in my memory because I watched it live. So those are just a couple of mine.
Did we name anything baseball related? No. So let's go. Guys, this is very my team centric here. But Howie Kendrick off the foul pole against Houston, right after what how does that go? Yeah, he goes off the foul pole, wins that, and then even in that game there was a back and forth because someone hits the home run for Houston and carries the bat. Then they carries the bat to first base. So Soto comes back like 2 innings later, does the same exact thing, hits a home run, pimps it, and walks dang near to first base with the bat in his hand and drops it before he hits first. That got us back into it, and then Kendrick hits the one off the foul pole. So that's that, and then the game 4 home run by Jason Worth descended to a game 5 against the Cardinals, which was the game that broke my heart afterwards. But we won't talk about that one.
If I gotta go baseball, the play Derek Jeter made on the first baseline when he scooped it up and he just kind of flipped it to home to Jorge Posada to get the out. I think that's one of the most clutch baseball plays. I mean, that's why he's the greatest shortstop of all time.
Can we stay on topic? I'm not starting this argument with you today.
You know what's coming. Shoot. Since we finished that up with MLB, let's go MLB trade deadline. We'll go Mead early because I want to hear you break this one down for me. I didn't think that they were going to make any moves, but they did.
Well, this is one of the moves that we thought they would make. We knew they were going to move somebody. I was saying Garcia, and that's just personally because I was tired of Garcia. I'm still tired of Garcia, even though he's having his best season. But when you think about Curtis Mead, this guy was DFA, so you sent like a low level minor leaguer to, I think it was Tampa, for his rights. He comes in, plays a hell of a first half of the season, and you turn him into a 24-year-old left-handed pitcher who right now, yes, he's on the IL. He's got some soreness in his arm, something that they believe is a short-term thing. He should probably pitch later on this season. And then you have at least 5 years of control with him, so he doesn't come up for free agency until 2032. And you don't have elite prospects early in the high levels of your minor league program. So you need somebody that's kind of he's gone from, how do I want to say this? He's gone from AAA. He's a early on in his starting career. I think he's pitched like 10 or 11 games in the pros. So he's showing you the flashes. But that gives you somebody that you can slot right in the pitching rotation, right with Cavalli. So I think it's a smart move. If you get anything out of this kid this year, it's even better. And then now you get to put guys like Brady House, who's hitting like 300 in the minors, who was up early on and probably would have hit 20 to 25 home runs if they didn't send him down. But they sent him down because they didn't want him operating as the left-handed bat or the bat that hits against left-handers. Um, why not get him in a situation where he can get consistent at bats, which he did in the minors, and maybe he's the first guy that comes up. Another guy that can come up is Yo-Yo Morales. Um, so they have some options in terms of who to bring up right now in this scenario. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they play it out. I haven't heard the announcement yet. I'm gonna try to keep my eyes on Twitter to see if another transaction is made or has been made. So that's all I have on that part for right now.
Now, this is not a move that's going to make or break the Nats.
No. This is one of those moves where you address a need. You're dealing from a strength, and this kid doesn't like put you over the top, but it just keeps you moving this program in the right direction. Like you want to always have something set up where the next guy, the next couple of guys you get are going to be um, guys that you can just put in place, and maybe you can set yourself up for next year, and it doesn't become a surprise when the team, has a good season because you stock the the shelves with the right amount of players and the right players. So this move is perfect. This is how. Remember, I don't know if I said it here. I was talking to you if I was talking to somebody at work, but people always talk about buyers and sellers. But there's sometimes where you can do both, where you can buy and sell, and that's what that's what they've done so far. And I see them continue to do stuff like this, like send one of your guys, your lower level minor league guys, for another arm because it doesn't take much to acquire a relief pitcher arm. You don't need to give up anybody in your top 20. You can give up a guy that's like kind of what's the word I want to use, struggling in your system, and maybe a change of scenery helps them out. You can get you a lower level guy and acquire something better. You got a glut in the infielders. Trey Lincecum could be a guy that they move because he's kind of getting stuck, and he's blocked everywhere on the infield. I mean, as much as he can play third, but you more than likely going to leave third to what's his face, to House or Morales, and whoever doesn't play third should become your first baseman. So, I mean, they have some things there, man. So I don't know. I mean, I just think they got options, and as long as they keep dealing from the strength, you shouldn't see a move that's going to impact this team where the fan base should be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they moved this person." And if they do that, then you just look at them like they crazy because they're just doing too much. Like I kind of had that discussion earlier with the Rooster himself on Twitter. Um, because he was worried because the guy was injured, and I'm just like, just even if this guy doesn't pitch in 26, it's a great move because it gives you a starter to take into 27, and then you get some of your other guys back because there's still two guys um, that they are probably potentially waiting on to get healthy, and that's DJ Hers and Josiah Gray. I don't know if either will pitch this year, but if they do, that gives you just another starter. Also, they got Trevor Williams, who should be coming back soon. He's another person that could fit into the role of um, your third or fourth starter and take guys like Michaelis and Little out of the rotation and put them into the rotation. I'm sorry, out of the rotation and put them into the bullpen to help strengthen your bullpen. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
All right. Another trade that I just looked is small, minuscule. The Philadelphia Phillies acquired outfielder Cameron Meisner from Kansas City in exchange for cash considerations. I always thought that if you just got traded for money, God damn, that's got to be some hurtful shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, Philly's been tinkering with their outfield because they just brought up a kid, Brian De La Cruz, who made his MLB debut, I want to say Thursday. And in his first at bat, he hit a home run. So I know they've been tinkering a whole lot with their outfield. So I know March is safe. I think they've been trying to find somebody in center field for the longest time. And that's kind of where they've been struggling at.
Like I always ask, does this hurt Philly? Does it? It doesn't. This is not a make or break trade, correct?
No, it's too small of a move. If you when you see cash considerations, more than likely, Meisner was probably on his way out of the organization anyway. So they just decided to get something for him.
All right. Let's take a break.
Gosh. Woo. Bless you.
Like, bless you. You sneeze again, you gotta get out. Like, it's coming over here just sneezing and shit. What's wrong with you? We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back and let's reset and let's go NBA because I really want to get into this with you. I really want to talk about this because I am kerfuffled. I'm baffled. I don't understand. So I want to talk to somebody with a level head. Okay. And you're here. If Perry was here, I know both of y'all would help me out understand this.
All right, let's go.
So let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That is Nothing But Net. Right now, Nothing But Net is on a short hiatus. Probably coming back to the airways on Wednesdays at 7:30, right around NBA training camp, a little bit after that. So we'll be back with that show. It's hosted by C. Perry II, myself. We also have the nephews with us, JG and nephew Josh. So it's a great show, great in-depth talk about the association and only the association. That's all we talk about. Anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes we do overtime. Okay, a lot of times we do overtime, but that's just par for the network, right?
That's par. Speaking of NBA, LeBron James signs a 2-year, $8 million contract to go to Philly. And I immediately said, this is absolutely crazy. I can't wait to hear what the guys got to say about this. So I'll throw it to you first, and then I
want to see your thought process on this, because I don't think I'm gonna be as upset.
Okay. Now I looked over the current roster of the 76ers, and I'm like, why would he go there? Now they just got Jaylen Brown, right?
Reason number one.
They had Joel Embiid.
That's reason number three.
You had VJ Edgecombe.
That's reason number
two. And Tyrese Maxey.
That's reason number two.
And I'm just like, okay. With Edgecombe, Brown, and Maxey. Now you got Embiid. I really think that LeBron is going to stunt the growth of Edgecombe, because Edgecombe played masterfully last season. He played wonderfully. I love the way he played. We already knew what Tyrese Maxey was doing. And I'm just like, yeah, he gonna stunt the growth of them young boys. I feel it.
Why?
This is not LeBron this is not pre-2020 LeBron. We're seeing the older LeBron, but we don't see that. I'm not seeing OG LeBron. I saw more OG LeBron 2012 to 2018. The LeBron that I'm seeing now is like, he's not having fun.
That's why
I've said that many times.
That's why he said, and he went to Philly, because his whole idea was to go somewhere and have some fun. Yeah, look at this team from this standpoint. I understand why he went there, because Philly is, if you watch the way Philly played last season in the playoffs, they were too helter-skelter. They didn't know who should have the basketball in the right situation. They didn't know, like, they just didn't know how to manage the game. You get Jaylen Brown. Supposedly Maxey and Brown are tight. If LeBron's stat line becomes 14, 9, and 8, that's going to be a success for him. Because now he can sit back and facilitate. He doesn't have to be the lead or the ball dominant. He can be the guy that's orchestrating everything. Now he can settle him down, get him into a good possession, because the way he sees the basketball court and the way what you're going to get from Jaylen Brown, I think this makes Philly one of the top two. The situation becomes just how fast does that gel? You know how you gotta, when you make Jell-O, you gotta let it sit and congeal and become. Yeah, that's all they're doing. That's all they gotta do. They just got, and you know my rule. I have the 20-game rule. First 20 games is the time when you figure it out. And if you change personnel, 20 games after you change personnel is the way to go.
Here's my thing. You look at this team, you look at the way they're constructed, and people are trying to compare this move by LeBron to MJ going to the Wizards. I've heard that. I've heard, oh no, don't come over here and be a bandwagon hop. I've heard so many different things in the last 48 hours. And it's just like, bro, y'all gotta understand.
Too much Twitter.
Huh?
I said you operate too much in the social media verse.
Because I mean, you can't talk sports with everybody, and it's stuff that pops up, and it's just like, yeah, I've the block button and not interested have become my friend over the last couple of months. But the things that people say, and then what LeBron's going to be the GOAT because he's going to keep playing and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. But what is he going to do actually is what I want to know. What is it that he's going to do? Because you're telling me that this Philly team, and I thought outside of Edgecombe and Maxey, before Brown got there, I thought everybody was soft. I've said Embiid is soft as duck butter for years. Like, you cry about playing back-to-backs. You cry about minutes. You cry about everything. And now, but he's the perfect big man to play with LeBron because he don't play back to the basket anymore. He has no post game anymore. I don't know what the hell happened to that. But I don't see this making Philly any better. I still see Philly as a middle of the pack. If they anything, that their ceiling is 4.
Just think about what you just said, dog. Embiid doesn't have to have his back to the basket. So you can flip the floor, you can play 5 out, you can put Braun down in the box, let him work. You can let him, he can reinvent his game. I'm just trying to tell you, dog. It's right there for him.
I've been asking LeBron to reinvent his game for about 15 years now because I'm like, can't nobody touch you. Put them on the block when they put them small guards on you. He still spots up and pulls up for jumpers. Even when Embiid got a mismatch and he should be down in the block, you should be down there in the forest with the trees where you belong because you got a mismatch on you. You're 7 foot. You got a 6'6" PJ Tucker on you, and you shooting jumpers from outside. PJ Tucker won that daggone matchup because PJ Tucker got your damn heart. You won't go inside and battle against him. That's the thing.
You do know that Jaylen Brown took a team with Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and company as the number 2 seed in the East. No Jason Tatum. You can't really be discounting Jaylen Brown this much, my brother. You really can't. Embiid becomes a third or fourth wheel. He actually could become trade opposition or trade bait for if they want AD there.
Trade one injury prone dude for another one. Jesus.
That's the only way the money matches. And then Washington just has to they would have to put a premium on first round picks they get from Philly.
This is it doesn't.
I don't see where you're hesitating on this, to be honest with you, bro.
Because it's Philly.
Yeah, but you gotta think about this. This guy's basketball IQ is next level. He's so smart when it comes to the game of basketball. I don't know, gosh, who was it? It was somebody on a pod. It was a teammate. I think it was either J.R. Smith or Iman Shumpert. And they were talking about, in one of the series they were playing, LeBron spotted somebody not wanting to guard. Like, he was, and I forgot what the action was, but LeBron would literally, the other team would score, LeBron would bring the ball up, and he'd call the play. And he was like, and they said LeBron used to yell to whoever the person was that didn't want to play defense. He was like, "You gonna play defense today? You gonna play defense today?" So the whole point of the play was to get this guy in action to have him defend somebody, right? It could have been the Golden State series when they made the motion where every time they got into a certain set, they ended up with Steph having to guard Kyrie, and LeBron got that situation. Boom. They score. Come back, get the ball off the rim, boom, or get out of bounds, come up the court, run the same thing. And that's all that's his mind is he sees the plays, he sees ahead to see what you can't do and what you can do. And he will always put the person that can't do in the position where they got to do what they can't do. And I think this is where it becomes fun for him because now he gets to be a basketball player, a facilitator. He gets to use his mind more instead of having to just out. What's the word I made? It's a made up word. Out as the other side somebody. He ain't gotta be a better athlete than White now.
You know what I feel like right now, listening to you talk? I feel like you're giving me every positive, which is great. I feel like Bill Murray in Ghostbusters, where I'm like, if I'm wrong, we'll go to jail quietly. But if I'm right, Lenny, think of all the votes you'll get. And that's how I feel like if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I'll do it right here on the show. I'll do it live.
I know we always do that, but I'm just you know me. When I see it, certain things, when I see it, I need you to see it because you know how my mind works.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you something. And this is, I'm gonna take some time out and I'm gonna deviate off the track for a second. One thing I can say, your sports mind is different from mine, but the way you articulate and the way you put it down to a science, I absolutely love it. Because we'll start talking and I'll tell you what my qualms is and what I'm thinking. You'll understand where I'm coming from. And you'll be like, but think about this. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, you're right, and I fucking hate you. I like it.
I just when I saw the move, I got it from the standpoint of he goes to Minnesota. What does playing with Melo do for him? It's gonna drive him crazy. LaMelo
really would it?
LaMelo would drive LeBron crazy because
maybe playing with LeBron would settle LaMelo down.
I feel like the way LaMelo plays basketball at times is like he's trying to figure, ooh, all right, hold on. This Team USA game is getting interesting. But no, the way he plays this game, I feel like, you know how you ever see, I'm trying to think of the best example of it. He's like a Tasmanian devil. He's a Tasmanian devil in a vase shop. That's how he plays basketball to me. He just knocks. Okay. He's just going around knocking shit down, and you just can't help yourself. That's how I see it, man.
I can see that.
I wouldn't even say bull in China shop because he doesn't have the force. He's all over the place. He's a whirling dervish. You know who he need? He need to find Annie from Bull Durham. She got to make him wear some lingerie and make sure the rose is in the front. Like he needs something like that. He need a Makuga to settle him down. And because I think he's a great basketball player. I just think the way he plays basketball is maddening to anybody that loves basketball. Sorry.
You got it. I just, okay.
And then if he goes to, think about this, if he goes to Miami, it's him and Giannis. That's redundant. A. B, you don't have the shooting to go along with it. So it's just like, what are we doing here?
Rumors were swirling. And they were saying that Miami was going to get Kyrie. Miami going to get this. It was rumors. It's all speculation.
Yeah, but you can't get Kyrie because you ain't got nothing to trade. It's like the Lakers trying to trade now. What are you trading? Only thing you can do is pick swaps.
Do the Lakers got any picks left in the next 5 years?
I don't think so, KG. I think we have a pick via some type of swap or whatever. That's about it. That's the best I got. I kept joking earlier that 2030 first round pick. I think like for the last 2 years, I've been saying that 2030 first round pick gonna get us somebody. And I think it did. I just don't remember who it was. But yeah.
Now I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Hold on. Let's finish who was the other team? It was Miami, it was Minnesota, and it was Golden State. And here's why Golden State doesn't work. Because Golden State doesn't work because I don't need to explain that one.
No, because Golden State, I knew Golden State wasn't gonna work.
Okay, all right, cool.
Cleveland
doesn't work because you got. Actually, I wanted him to go to Cleveland for selfish reasons.
The same here.
The selfish reason was because then if we get the trade or they want to trade for AD, I want Jared Allen. Because now I get me a rim protector and a defender, and he doesn't mind playing the 5, and I can move Sarr to the 4, where he's probably better suited. And now I got my rim protector. So when Trae Young gets blown by, because that's going to happen, when teams run their sets to get a pick and roll and put Trae in against their ball dominant guard, that's going to happen. That's the guy that erases the mistakes. And you tell Trae, just go out there, don't be a turnstile. Don't be a turnstile. That's all you got to do. Just you ain't got to play great defense. You ain't got to be all defense or anything like that. I just need you to put effort out in the court. And if you put your effort out there, we'll be okay. We'll make it through. We will survive. Sorry, I'm still trying to see if they made a corresponding move, the Nets, to bring up somebody. So if you see me keep looking down, I'm trying to keep up.
I got you. Anthony said you can't teach an old dog new tricks. LeBron refuses to adjust his game as he gets older. He refused to admit he's getting older, Midnight. I think he's embracing the getting older, but he's never. LeBron used to be a defensive wizard. Let me say that. He was the king of the chase down. Like if you got a steal, you had to look over your shoulder because he was coming. And if you had to fake like you was going up and pass that shit to somebody trailing, because if you didn't, it was a block. And it's not like that anymore. I get it, he's older, but I would love to see him better on ball. I would love to see him. I would love to see a lot of things, but I don't think
he's not
we're
25.
Huh?
You can't. You asking a 42-year-old man to defend a 20-year-old. I don't know. I don't know if you heard your knees, but he probably hear his knees just like you hear yours, bro. We ain't extending playing 96 feet or 94 feet, whatever the length of the court is.
Hold on.
Nah, because you still didn't give coaches 10 plays. So don't even start that. You ain't give coaches 10 plays yet.
It's coming. But some of the hardest defense that I ever had played against me was by an old head. And he talked to me the whole time. And I'm like, all right, I'm going right. You know, where you think you're going? Come on back here. I'm going left. Where you going? What you going to do? I tried to nutmeg him. Nah, what you do? I ain't one of these little kids. Don't try that with me. I tried to shoot over and give me that. I couldn't do anything. And this dude had to be in his 50s. I was in my 20s.
Yeah, but think about, all right, here we go. I don't need you to help me on this one, but here's the scenario. All right. LeBron James has been in 10 NBA finals?
Yes.
Okay. So back then when he first started, the first round was 5, second and third, or semis and conference finals were 7, and say finals were 6. So let's say 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 5 is 21, right? So you play 82-game season, you add another 21 games to his body because he's gone to the playoffs 10 times. So that's another 200 ball games that he's played. I'm not even counting the times he's made the playoffs. I'm talking about the times he's gone to the finals. He's gone to 10 finals. So he's probably added 210 basketball games to his body. I'm not doing the math real quick, but roughly that's 2.5 seasons. So he's played 21 years, and then just in his final runs, he's added another 2.5 years to his career. So he's played 23.5 seasons, essentially. Like, that's just a lot of wear and tear on his body. And I think the reason why he picked a spot like Philly is so he could go take a step back, and maybe he doesn't have to be LeBron James, the scorer, consistently. He just becomes LeBron James, the facilitator. And then he finds the moments when he even told you, he thought about retiring. So that tells me right there, I think he's cool with getting older. He didn't want to leave with that bad taste in his mouth of getting swept. and he said he wanted to go back to having fun playing basketball. The only thing I think that's going to hurt him with Philly is just the fans are going to be a lot. They're going to be very abrasive, and that's the part that he's going to have to deal with. But still, even with that, I still say, hey, I'd rather deal with that than have to carry a team. He's the third option in that offense coming down the court, maybe the fourth. That's why he goes there.
Well, Anthony says it makes zero sense for me to LeBron in Philly with the lack of control he's not going to get in Philly. He wants a certain type of coach. I don't think the guy who's in Philly is that.
Nick Nurse is a great coach.
Yeah, Nick Nurse is a championship winning coach.
Wasn't he Toronto's coach? Yeah, I think LeBron's gonna be fine in Philly. I'm sorry, guys.
I think as far as the coaching goes, he'll be fine. Anthony said, I understand what you're saying, Midnight, but I agree with KG. I feel LeBron playing in Minnesota will calm LaMelo down more than it will frustrate LeBron. And then think about this. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to happen. You think he gets Bronny with him?
No. I think for some reason the Lakers believe in Bronny. I think he actually just signed a 2-year extension. So I don't think he's going nowhere. I want to say, you know how John Thompson used to say, I'd rather tame a fool than resurrect a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, in this situation, this fool is a damn fool. I don't see LeBron want any parts of trying to calm that fool down. Just my thoughts.
Understand. We got to keep an eye on this because I hope like hell. This is one time that I actually hope like hell I'm wrong. I hope like hell I'm wrong.
You are. It's okay. I mean, I'm just letting you know now. It won't come as a surprise.
Fuck it, you wrong. You wrong.
It's all good. Hey, we all do this sometimes.
We talked about that earlier, Anthony. We got to your comments that you left last night. We talked about Monday Night Miracle for the Redskins. Go ahead, Midnight Rider.
No, I had the Riggins run in the Super Bowl, the Monday Night Miracle. I had the Robert Horry shot against the Kings, the Derek Fisher shot against San Antonio, Game 4 home run by Jason Worth in the playoffs, and the Howie Kendrick home run off the foul pole were my 6 that I added. And I think KG went first base pitch against Oakland by Derek Jeter. You did the Monday Night Miracle. I forget your other ones.
What was it? Jordan's two game winners against Utah. His final shot, and then game 1 in '97, which I actually set up to win for 90 in game 6 because same play was called, and Steve Kerr was like, "When you ready," and they double team, I'm right there. I'll be open. And he went and hit the hop step, and he stepped through and went to go shoot, and John Stockton came over. He passed to Kerr. Kerr came and caught it in rhythm. Beautiful. And yeah, we got to that and talking about Josh Beckett. And it's like, you got to put the Yankees out there, man. You always got to say something about the Yankees. Like, look, that was and the Yankees losing to the Diamondbacks got to be some of the worst feelings in the world for me as a Yankee fan. So,
okay, so I do have an update. So Brady House is the person they did call up. So he's in the lineup today, hitting 5th. So just to give you just a quick Nats starting lineup. I don't think we haven't done this, but let's go today with Nats starting lineup. James Wood, right field, leading off. Andres Chapata, the DH, hitting 2nd. Dylan Cruz in left field, hitting 3rd. CJ Abrams, who is absolutely on fire right now, is playing shortstop. Brady House is at 3rd. Jacob Young is in center field. Harry Ford is catching today. Luis Garcia is playing first, and then Nasim Nunez is playing second. And that is your starting 9 today on the mound is Miles Michaelis. If they can win this, they go 2 for 3 against the team in Arizona, who they're chasing down in the wild card. So it's gonna be interesting. And speaking of Anthony, I feel bad for him because I think the Marlins just lost like their number 11th in a row. They were, they struggling right now. That struggle bus is real. Anthony, is that injury related or like what's the downfall right now for the Marlins? I know he'll answer, so we ain't gotta stick on topic for that.
All right, and he said it hurt me too. I'm a Yankees fan. But I was happy that my Marlins won the World Series because your Yankees had 27 and championships. There's only 2 my Marlins have. And it should be more than that. We should have close to 30, but I digress. Midnight Rider, USA flag.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. This tournament right here, it started yesterday. So it was funny. Yesterday on my big TV, I had the USA flag game on. On my phone, I had the Sideline Junkies, NCAA Football League. I think I was watching who played first. Whoever was first out the gate. I forgot the first game now. I think it was Darnell. I think it was Michigan against Western Kentucky. So I watched that. But this game that's been going on right now since we've been talking, it's like New York and Jacksonville. Man, this game has been nothing but big plays, great plays. But the score doesn't reflect it. But these young men are athletic. They killing it, man. And I can't wait till the girls come up. Because yesterday I watched on the girls' side, there's this young lady, Brooke Sullivan. I think she plays for the Broncos. I can't remember which team. Because I just wrote her name down. I didn't write down the team. But man, the Dolphins and the Broncos had a good game. The Bengals were playing somebody. Of course, in all the leagues, they have the NFL teams as their jersey. So, like last night, if you watched it, there was a team, the Commanders, who played the Buccaneers, but the Commanders were like from New York. So, but their team in their league or the league they play in was the Commanders. So, that's how they got that. But yeah, this game right here, New York City versus Jacksonville, big play after big play, and Jacksonville has this kid. If you go to watch the highlights, there's a kid from Jacksonville. He has this, the snow, the hat you wear in the snow that got the little ball on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
He got one of those on playing. Young man is athletic as all get out. New York's got a couple. This New York team's got a couple. So now it's Ocala, Florida versus New York City, New York. But in the Final Four, Ocala beat Clifton Park, New York, 19-18. That was a game at 10 o'clock. And then this is the 11 o'clock game. New York City beat Jacksonville, Florida, 16-12. And then they got the championship game. I guess that's later on today. I missed the last part of that. But, bruh, just watching these young athletes play, man, it's the way of the future. The flag is going to be there, and they're putting these kids in it, and that's also helping some of these kids because you start learning route concepts, and things of that nature. Even though it's not the full regulation field, even though it's not the full 11-on-11, the way these teams come out and the things they use some concepts and help teach these kids early on. But if you can't tell my voice, I'm excited about this. The girls are coming up next. This has literally been my TV, on my TV, all day yesterday. And then, of course, it's me on my TV today.
And Anthony answered that question for you. He said, our bullpen is hurting us. Fairbanks has blown multiple leads during this losing streak for our starters. We've won 7 of 8 innings the last 3 starts.
That's crazy. That's tough. You got to survive it, though.
All right. WNBA All-Star Game. Midnight Rider. we had some fireworks last night. That's been
Okay.
all over. You want to start it off?
Well, I mean, the main thing is the WNBA All-Star Game. Team Spoon beats Team Coop 129 to 122. Your WNBA All-Star Game MVP was Jonquil Jones. She almost had, in the words of Ice Cube, she messed around and almost had a triple double. She got close, but she didn't get the triple double. Um, this this was, I mean, it was an All-Star game, so don't go looking for like great defense or anything like that. The young lady Malanga, the young lady from France, she got a dunk. Um, Olivia Miles put on a show as well. Uh, the young ladies represented. They did their thing. Um, but with Jones winning the WNBA All Star Game MVP, she becomes the first person to be Commissioner Cup MVP, WNBA All Star MVP, League MVP, Finals MVP. So that's impressive. And then there's another category she's in, and the people in that category, I gotta find the stat. I'll have it Tuesday if I remember. But she's in a category where it's only four other players. It's like Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, um, Candace Parker, and it's herself. And I gotta figure out what that is, but I'll figure it out. But that alone. There's only four people in the category. Tells you something impressive. So
Absolutely.
that's really all I really have on that. Um, the ladies represented. They did their thing all weekend. I didn't catch a lot of the other activities, but I mean, it looks like I mean, they did something right. And I know the talks are moving forward. Is the commissioner the right person to take the realms and lead this team or lead this league into the future? Because there have been plenty of. I think her name is Englehart, and there's been plenty of discussion around how do I want to use this term, her capability to be effective and a good commissioner, or is she failing them?
It's not a easy job navigating a league like this, and I think this is the third commissioner they've had in 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking it up now. Oh no, they said they call her the only league WNBA commissioner. I could have sworn they called the president title.
Gotcha.
It's different. So okay, this is the first commissioner. It's normally president, because I remember Val Ackerman at the beginning. But as far as like leaders, I don't. I mean, we're going through expansion. You got a couple teams moving, what you expect, but I mean, what else? What more do you want her to do? But you also got to remember the commissioner works for the owners of the league.
I think there's two things that I don't like. One is there's just way too many young ladies getting drafted, going in situations, and then they get drafted second, third round, and they're not on a team or they're getting cut. I think the one thing that has changed the WNBA, and this is not fair to some of the athletes, but the athleticism has gone up a notch. So a person like the young lady Haley Van, oh, I can't think of her last name. The other part of her last name. That went to TCU. She's a guard. She's been released like 3 times in the last 2 seasons. But the problem is she's just not athletic enough to keep up with everybody else on the court. So it's not talent. She has talent, but she can't move. When you got bricks for feet, it gets exposed in this league, and that's what they're starting to do. And then your girl Chennedy Carter, for some reason, she just can't keep a job. Captain can't get right.
Yeah, that's kind of wild because she gets released left, right, up, and down. What, she's been released 3 times in the last 2 years?
Yeah. That tells me it's not a league problem or a team problem. It's a Shindy Carter problem. Because she's talented. You can't deny the talent. But the problem is, it's just like when you dating somebody, what's the level of what you gonna take? You know, she might be fine, but if her crazy is too crazy, then you might gotta let that go. Or she's not fine enough to be that crazy. You gotta let it go. There's a crazy to find meter, and you got to find out where that point of, you know, inception meets at, and whatever that junction point is. If she's below, then she can't be that crazy. And if she's above, she got to be super hot on the hotline. That's all I'm saying. Relationship advice brought to you by the Midnight Rider, the number 10. So here,
Let's take our final break of the show, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some NFL training camp, which opened on Friday for rookies. I think vets report on Monday. Tuesday?
Vets report Tuesday. I think first practice is Wednesday. I might have that backwards. It might be Monday. We can double check that. But yeah, we're getting close to it. I fully, to be honest with you, I fully expect some of the vets to show up tomorrow. Even if they don't, even if they don't, fully go through everything, I can just still see them. Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Gridiron, the college show that breaks down. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm a little out of practice. It is the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, Craig. In the world, Craig. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our Sideline Junkies, PlayStation 5, College Football 27, also Xbox, whatever the system is. I think they're both compatible now. We've got the leagues started up. I'm looking right now. Coach Powell is in a barn burner, fight for his life. He's down 14-7 to North Carolina. Coach Powell is taking their homes of LSU. So he's rocking with LSU. There's an outside chance that we might have an episode today, very outside. But if I'm inspired and I feel like it, I might drop one just to open the season since it's week 1. But we might get something else in the chat. So keep your eyes open. There may be a new thing that we do. It might be coming from the Gridiron Gazette. I'm gonna leave it at that. Just stay focused, stay attentive, and you'll see what's happening, bro.
All right. As we said before the break, we said training camp on the horizon. Rookies reported in most places on the 22nd, while the vets are going to report between the 25th and the 28th. I believe the Commanders, they're opening up their camp on the 28th for vets.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wondered, is it still the same old school way? I think everybody goes home now. Like I think Dallas is the only one, because they do their training camp in California. I outside of Dallas, I don't know anybody else that actually stays in dorm rooms.
Is
Old school
Dallas?
style.
Is Dallas? I want to say Kansas City, and I want to say the Browns, because I know the Browns go away. I forgot the name of their facility, but the Browns do go away. I think those are the only three that I can think of off the top of my head. Yo,
Let me ask you
Jay,
a
hold
training
on.
camp.
Just if you guys need some white noise or something to have in the background while you're watching us, some of you might be watching us on your TV. So I say, go your ESPN on your phone. The young ladies are about to play. They play at 12 and at 1. It's the high school young ladies. If you want to see some athletic young ladies play play flag football, as you're watching us, because you got to stay here and watch us. But you can put that as a secondary. Just put it on mute. Just watch every now and then. Just take your head up while you listen to me talk. You listen to KG talk. You look at your TV. Boom, you're coming back to us, or however you want to do it. You're looking at us there, and you go down to your phone, and you come back up to us. However you want to do it. But I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be fun today. I watched this little team, the Broncos. I forget where they're from. They are feisty. It's gonna be interesting, bruh. Trust me, when we get out of here, I ain't gonna spoil what I'm eating. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching this. What I'm watching it now is my secondary screen anyway. And I got Coach on my phone watching him play. It's 14-14. Coach just tied it up. You're getting everything. You're getting flag football updates. You're getting college football PlayStation updates, and you're getting us to talk about training camp. Let's go.
Let me ask you a training camp question.
Let's go.
Would it and this is general, would it help the team bond more if you actually weren't driving into the facility every day? You were actually staying in the dorm room. You put your quarterback and tight ends together. You put your DBs and your linebackers together. I mean, you just kind of put guys together. Nobody chooses their room assignment because guys are gonna click up anyway. But you choose to put people in rooms, and if I'm rooming with the Midnight Rider, I'm bringing the mini fridge, he's bringing the TV. But we're rooming together, and this is all through camp for the next month. We're not going home. There ain't no going home on the weekends. We're working every day, trying to gel as a team. Do you think that if they went back to that, you would see more cohesiveness?
Yes and no. So I think for certain teams, certain places, when you have the relationship with the facility, I think it works. I think like the Richmond thing was a cash grab. It wasn't really a setup, and I don't know. Because of former management, I don't know how equitable that setup was in terms of um, bringing a team close together and things of that nature. I think what this team has done under Quinn is it's found moments during the season to allow itself the opportunity to bond. So instead of training camp being away, what they do is they'll go, and I'm guessing one of these trips early on in the season, they'll go somewhere, and then if they're playing on the West Coast or one of those trips, they'll instead of coming home, they'll go to that next city, that next destination, and they'll have a bonding moment there because they'll stay at like they did it. What was it? One year they stayed at like University of Washington because they were playing out in that area. One year they stayed at Arizona State, and I think they played the Cardinals that week. So they've done things here to kind of get that bonding moment. I just think these guys, I think their lives are so um, interactive and so heavy with the family and all those things that I think it makes it hard for guys to leave the family and go somewhere else, or it makes it hard for them to actually kind of live their lives. I think this kind of gives your guys an opportunity to still be, daddy and present a little bit before they start buckling down for the grind of the season. Does that make sense, KG?
It does. It
And I
does.
think I think I think the league is kind of, it's kind of why we've changed some of the rules. You don't have like the 2-a-days or the 3-a-days, is because I think we're trying to be more family friendly and um, athlete friendly, and not to be distracted. But I just saw the young lady name I brought up, Brooke Sullivan. She was just invited by Team USA to try out for Team USA flag going forward. So I'm guessing it's the under 14 team. So there you go. I'm sorry, I'm all over this Team USA thing. I apologize, though, but I'm I'm watching these young ladies play, man. I'm watching these young guys play. Maybe it's the old coach in me coming out, but and maybe it's also the old flag guy coming out, man. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. Training camp going away. I think certain teams can do it because I think they have the facilities, and I also think they manage it better. I think the way the Commanders have updated their cooking staff, because I constantly hear B Mitch and JP talk about, the chef cooking this, the chef cooked that. Um, you hear all the time now the beat reporters talk about the meals they get. And I never ever remember hearing them talk about stuff like that. So to me, if they're talking about it and they notice the difference, guess who else notices the difference? The players. Now, when you go to the facility, you get something to eat, and then all of a sudden you like, all right, what's for dinner? And what you just had was some straight cut garbage. Then you go on to Chipotle or somewhere else on your way home to get dinner. Now, when you at the facility and the food good, when you leave out, you got like a bag with some carry on, with some some trays in them, and maybe you feeding the family for the night. You know what I'm saying? And it's just little things that I think this team has done, and this is where I think in the aggregate, not going away is made up for it in these little things they've done around the facility. Like they've given them like this lounge. They've got a lounge and a couple other places where the players get to mingle. So after a workout, most of the guys don't leave right away. So like I don't know if you saw, I think it was season two. Yeah, I think it was season two of the Commander's Log. They renovated the park, and the park was under construction during that season. Um, So I think that's the year Luke and them came in. So yeah, I think that's season two of Commander's Log on YouTube. If you check that out, you'll see where they kind of made some social areas, and they kind of expanded the space so guys can actually like congregate and sit. So I think that's where they make up for not being like having to stay overnight in a facility or stay somewhere else. They have spaces naturally built in, where the guys can get treatment. So you can sit in a hot tub or a sauna, or you can get like whatever massage treatment you need, or you can get all these things done on site now. And then also when you're done, there's an area where players get to hang out, and kind of make up for that space of not having a dorm room that you're going to. And then you get the comfort of them going home and sleeping in their own bed instead of sleeping on some hard mattress in the dorm room. I mean, that whole rest thing is important. I tell you right now, in my first 2 years in college, those beds was terrible. No disrespect to President's Park. I think I was in Roosevelt my freshman year at Mason, and I don't remember the president that I was in the and it wasn't the Commons. What was that area called? Whatever that area was called. So yeah, I felt sorry for my second year roommate because that's when I was coming off of losing my mom. Felt bad for that guy. I was a mess.
But let me ask you this. with that being said, now I understand everything you said makes perfect sense. You broke it down. You made it make perfect sense.
You're old school.
Yes.
You love. I mean, you would right now. Yeah, you'd get fined because you try to do 2-a-days and put people in pads all day long. And you'd have to adjust. But I think what it is, KG, is we got to also what we liked and what we did. There's a new Martin family now. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are. I think we have to give them some things to make it easier, if that makes sense. Like I worry about. I joked. If you remember when Tom Brady said he wanted to come back, I jokingly said he said bleep them kids, and that's why he came back because he got tired of trying to do TikTok dances. He got tired of driving to this practice and driving to practice. He was like, "No, I'm good, dog. Just go ahead and get me on the NFL field. That way I can be away from the house." And I think that's part of why he's doing some of the stuff he's doing now because he just got to get out. And I'm not saying Tom Brady's not a good dad. I'm just saying Tom Brady wants to get out the house.
You want to know something funny?
What?
I got into an argument on TikTok about Tom Brady because a creator had made a post about, I don't know what Tom Brady's doing. Why is he ruining his legacy, going to WWE events and beefing with one of the Paul brothers, and won't you go be a father and this, that, and the other? You sacrificed your family for one more run in football when you didn't need to. And I was like, you do realize his wife cheated on him, right? That's why he went back to football. She was cheating on him. Oh, no, that never happened. I was like, oh, my God. Why would he do something like that to Gisele? Giselle's so beautiful. Oh, so I see. So I got into a whole argument and was like, you don't remember none of that? That never happened. And she started seeing the guy after they broke up. And I was like, okay. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't even got nothing to say no more. But
new to the program, brought to you by Midnight Rider Racing, is the sneeze counter. We're at 3.
Oh, again, I swear.
Is that Osh?
Yeah.
She cold. I think
she might be getting an allergy cold.
Did you tell her about Tuesday?
Oh, had your art up on Tuesday. I forgot to tell you that. I had to go back and show you. What? Which art? The art she made Midnight Rider. That he uses as background.
Oh, I have to remake that. Hold on. I will remake that.
She says she's gonna remake it.
Okay. Just know I had it.
So this is what I've been waiting on all week. The Tales from Carl.
Oh,
look, I'm getting ready to put my mic on mute. I'm ready to listen.
What do you? All right, I got 3 main stories I can tell that I can remember off the top of my head without messing up the details. There's 39, number 30, and 73 and 68. Just pick one. It's 3 of them. The 3 stories revolve around these 3 players: 39, 30, 73, and 68.
I'm gonna go with 73.
All right, so 73 and 68. So I am. This is 1980. I guess it would be 84 season because it was after the Super Bowl they lost to the Raiders. And we had to. So basically, what happens, and I'll tell the story this way. So basically, the Pigskin Club of Washington D.C. ran. I think at that point in time we were 32 buses going up to Carlisle. The good thing is my dad. For me, the good thing was my dad was one of the guys that had his own bus. So my dad would have a bus everybody would basically pay him or pay for their seat on the bus. We drive up to Carlisle in a 32 bus caravan, and when we get off the bus, the team was so good about. This is one of the beautiful things about the Joe Gibbs, Jack King Cook era was they had a day set up for us when we got there. So when you first arrive, the first thing you do is there's a meet and greet where basically like Gibbs comes in, a couple of players come in and talk to us. All right. After the players and the coach talk to you, you end up in a space where, and this is what you will love, KG. You'd hear John Facenda and whatever the season in review was, you'd get that as the first thing when you arrive. So you go listen to that. By the time that's over, you're close to like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So this is like my first year going, and I'm walking up with my dad calls me over, and it's these two big behemoths. One wears 73, his name is Mark May. The other one was number 68, Russ Grimm. And they were so tall. Like I was like standing there, and I'm like, I had this old school gray number 7. I think I had a number 7. It was the Joe Theismann old school jersey that I was rocking. And I had a big ass hat on that was bigger than me, but I had a big fro, so I had the hat and the fro all work together. But I'm looking straight up, and I'm like meeting these guys, and I'm shaking their hands, and I'm in awe. Like I'm just like, oh my gosh, these dudes are huge. And they started talking to me, and like I carried conversation on with them for a couple minutes. Then they both just tell me they both signed autographs for me right then and there. So those were my first 2 autographs at Carlisle was Mark May and Russ Grimm. So that's the 73-68 story.
Dang.
So now you got 30 or 39.
Let's go with 30.
All right. So as I told you all the time with the Carlisle trip, at this point we're 1990. So a quarterback was drafted, I think in the 5th round from Louisiana, by the name of Brian Mitchell. So this year we go up, and this time I'm 13. So basically all my dad used to do after I became a teen was he held the money. I had the bus roster. So what he would do is as people paid, he would tell me who paid. I had this flip notebook, old school flip notebook, and I basically assigned. I had like the bus. So if we had 46 seats on the bus, I had like 46 spots, and I would write people as they paid into spots on the bus. And I knew who our bus was, but at this time, I was also like kind of like the vet on the trip. So if somebody brought a son with them or a daughter, I got to sign the kid if they wanted to get autographs. The parent be like, "Hey, go with." And at this time, I will say it. I will. Yes, my nickname when I was young, I was Benji. Okay, so go with Benji. You'll see. And I'll never forget. I think that was a year we had when you walked into. So basically, you did everything like I told you, the morning thing. Then afterwards, you get lunch, and after lunch, you like kind of go to because the guys start reporting for practice. So there were spaces where you would have to. I mean, in technical terms now, they would call them choke points, but there were spaces where you could catch the players before they came into the facility to sign autographs. So I had this one kid with me, and he was like, he saw, like it was Monk, Clark, and Sanders. They came together always. And he was like, I don't think we're gonna do this. I was like, what? So I put him on my hip. I was like, just stay here. I got you. We got Monk, we got Sanders, we got Clark, and we was out. And we did this in 10 minutes, KG. Everybody else was still staying there. We had like everybody else that had 10 minutes and they got one. We had 10 minutes and had all three. Right? Yo, I'm telling you, I was putting the clinic. I was putting the show on. It's one thing I could do. I knew how to catch the guys. Like I had to catch them because there was like a thing that led up to it. So sometimes I'd go up a little bit on the main road coming in because most of the guys walked in. So you catch them early, they sign something, and then you just walk off because you wouldn't stay by them because you wouldn't want the crowd to catch them there. So I had a strategy to this whole thing because I had been going so long. So every year, what would happen is we would go watch practice. So after we watched practice, we had like our veterans. So my dad's buddies that always go on the trip. After about let's say 87, no 86. After 80, no 87 was it? After 87, I would do camp cuts. And so everybody, when we got back on the bus, the rule was, at that time, my godfather, Uncle Robbie is what I called him. But I always call him by his government now, Walter G. Robinson, because it's distinguished. And I think that's just who he was. He was just a classy dude. But my Uncle Robbie, he had a couple friends. They would always like catch me. Like once the bus got going, they'd be like, all right, Benji, who you cutting, who you keeping, blah, 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 who impressed you? So I would have like my own little session on the bus when I was talking about who I was keeping, who I was cutting. So this particular year, the rookie out of Louisiana just caught my eye. I don't know why. It was just something about him. The whole time I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I can't stop watching 30. I can't stop watching 30. So I'm like, all right, he making a team. So when I told him, I was like, that's who's gonna make the team. So you fast forward, game 1 of the preseason is in Carolina. That young man's first touch is a kickoff return for a touchdown. Yo, my the house phone started ringing after he made that return. And like a couple of my dad's buddies called and wanted to talk to me. He's like, well, you know about Brian Mitchell, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, I just saw what I saw. And from that point on, I was one of the biggest B Mitch fans there was until towards the end. But yeah, that's the 30 story. We got up there, I watched them, and everybody was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know who's gonna make it. And I was like, yo, that number 30 gonna be there. He gonna be there. They like, you sure he used to play quarterback? I was like, trust me. Cause I just saw something. I don't know what I saw. I mean, I'm what? If that's 90, I think I'm 13. I'm going into the 8th grade. So I just saw something in them. I just didn't know. So that's that one. And then 39, I'm glad you did it in this order because 39 is why one Mr. Otis Wansley will always and forever be one of my favorite running backs as a Redskin. So again, this is the same year with the 73 and 68. We go to lunch. I have to go to the bathroom. I come back, and I walk into a cafeteria. Obviously, I didn't know it, but I'm in the wrong cafeteria. So I go through the line, get food. Like the people, the staffers didn't say anything. They didn't bother me. But there was somebody behind me in the line. He was like, hey, who you here with, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I'm with my dad and I'm for the Pigskin Club. He was like, oh, okay. You a fan? I was like, yeah, I'm a fan. I love the team, boom, boom, boom. So we just started having a conversation. He's like, oh, come sit with me. So I'm sitting down, eating, having lunch. Now, I'm not paying attention, but I'm the only kid in this section. So I'm eating lunch with number 39, the man that led the most famous 4th and 1, Otis Wansley. And we're sitting there talking. We grab some lunch. He even calls over a couple guys like, hey, this is my buddy from DC. They call him Benji, blah, blah, blah. Can he get your autograph? So he gets me like another couple autographs. He looks at the thing. He's like, "Hey, I think you guys are on this program, so let me walk you to where you're supposed to be." I didn't know, so he walked me back, and I walk in, and like he doesn't come in. And my dad, and I'm like, "Where were you at?" I was like, "I just had lunch." He was like, "Who you had lunch with?" I was like, "This guy, number 39." He was like, "You ate lunch with Otis Wansley?" I was like, "Yeah." It was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, me, Otis, sat there. He got me. God, I can't think of who they were. I wish I knew the names. I don't want to make them up, but he got me two different autographs. Um, that I added to my collection, and we was just yeah. And after that, yo, always he will always, and that's what when if you're a young athlete, never not make time for people, the young people, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college, whether you're a young player in the pros, never ever take for granted the moment you spend with a young kid, with a young person, because it leaves an indelible mark. And I would always tell the Otis Swansea story to the day I'm in the grave, bro. And he will always, if you ask me for my favorite running back, I know John Riggins, I know Clinton Portis, I know all those guys, but 39 will always be my favorite, and then everybody else is after that.
Now, here's my question for you, and I hope the answer is yes. Somewhere tucked away, you have all these autographs.
Nope. Nope. They went by the wayside. I don't even know if I hold them. Like I'd get home and then they'd probably get lost in the shuffle. I have none of them, and I'm talking about I had everybody. Like I'd leave Carlisle with, if it was a 90-man roster, I had probably 40 to 50 autographs. Like I cleaned up.
Mm.
I would like I had these. I used to have, like I said again. So after I had the bus roster, the next 2 pages I skipped 2 pages, and that's when I would have the players start signing in my book. And the key to autographs is you always got to have a pen with whatever you having them sign. And yeah, man, I used to just clean up, and they like that's the other thing they would do. Like the guys we would get on the bus, and like people would pull up the roster. They'd be like, "You get this guy's autograph?" I was like, "Yeah, we got that." "You get him?" "Yeah, I got him." "Yeah, we got him." It's like, "Who didn't you get?" I was like, "Well, we didn't get this guy, this guy." Like it was almost easier for me to say who we didn't get. And they'd be like, "Why you always get Monk, Clark, and Sanders before everybody else?" I was like, "I don't know." But I just knew how to like position my book into the pile, and it always got picked up, man. And I get the other the little kids, I'd get his, boom. It was an art, man. I had a it was one of the best things I ever got to do with my dad was we'd get on that bus, I'd sit, he'd sit in the front seat, I'd sit in the back. And there was always a kid, somebody's kid or nephew or somebody that came up. So they'd always sit with me and we'd talk the whole way up. Or like, the older guys that knew I really kind of knew what I was talking about, like we just started talking. Like all my dad's buddies, because they knew I would sit, I was that kid that sat with the old guys instead of running around playing. You know what I'm saying? I would sit, I'll never forget, we used to go for Christmas, we would go to my cousin Johnny's house, and the blue gray game would always be on the TV in his house. He had a floor model that you would have loved. Um, and it'd be my cousin Jerome, my cousin Johnny, his wife Clara, my cousin Stevie, his son Brian, and they started talking, and I'd just sit there. You couldn't give me the move. They was like, "You don't want nah, I'm good though. I'm right here. This is where I'm gonna be." And I hear all the stories and all the stuff, man. There was definitely going to be downtown Freddie Brown mentioned. Like it was going to happen. It was part of the culture. Like it was just like those things. And when we got on the bus, they was like, "Well, what you think we're going to do?" I'd be like, "Well, we're going to be 10-6. As long as we get this." My dad's favorite. I think one of my dad's favorite running backs. He had two in that era. It was I call him OG 30. That was Nick Giaquinto, and then probably the guy that I'm curious what his career would have been if he'd never played for the Philadelphia Stars, and that's number 24, Kelvin Bryant, out of North Carolina. Like if he was able to just come straight to the NFL, he wouldn't have been a Redskin. But if he got to come straight to the NFL and play, there's no way you could tell me that guy wouldn't have gotten 10,000 yards rushing. But by playing in the USFL, he got beat up a whole bunch. And Joe Jackson Gibbs always loved him. And Joe Jackson Gibbs said, when I can get my hands on him, he gonna play. And he was our other third down back.
Now, I got a story of Carlisle, but not from Carlisle. Okay. Now, this is something I think we need to incorporate this every summer, where you just do, like, you got the floor and you just talk about those trips. I mean, like, as many as you can pull out, that's a series right there every summer. Because you had the experience that I myself dreamed of. And I was like, but I didn't know where to go, who to do this, and, things like that. But you had the experience that I dreamed of. So whenever you tell these stories, that's why I get quiet and I start listening, because I'm visualizing as you're saying it, because they're so good. They're so great to hear you talk about the moments with your dad and everything. Like, dude.
At times I used to think my dad was like, yo, can you stop asking me about sports? Let's talk about something else, buddy. Like,
but the stories are so great, man. The stories. This is what I love, and this is why I told you I've been waiting for it.
Right.
Because the closest I came to Carlisle, Richie Pettibone first year. That was 93.
Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't know the address, and they was like, yeah, you can. I remember saying it on the news, and they was like, he was getting fan mail. So I sat down with a piece of construction paper. Now, mind you, I am 11 at the time. So that's 93. That's summer 93. I'm 11. So I sat down at the dining room table and I wrote a letter. And I wrote a letter on construction paper. And it says something to the fact like, we got a good team. If we can just run the ball and keep everything going, keep the defense intact, we're going to be good. We can make the playoffs again, and then, we can build up. We're going to be okay. And I put the letter in the mail with no return address. Well, with return address, no address, just said Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Washington Redskins. That's what it said. And I know the mail, we had the same mailman for like years. And he told me straight up, I'll get it to him. Don't worry about it. I don't know if it ever made it up there, but that was my Carlisle thing.
That's dope, man. But we did a lot of that stuff as kids, man.
Yeah.
That's where the generation, like, of having so much access, we had to send a letter and send this. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Anthony asked the question. He says, he got a couple of questions. He said, what was your favorite player interaction during training camp? Were you guys able to talk to either Sean Taylor or LeVar Arrington?
Well, we stopped because after they moved to Salisbury, it wasn't the same. And I think my dad didn't like this. The Salisbury trip, when you are used to having certain access, and then you get to camp at Salisbury that year, and the amount of hoops and just the lack of effort in trying to entertain us, it just showed. Like, it was like they didn't care about the fan experience. And I think that was the last year I really remember my dad and them doing that trip. Well, they may have done the trip since then, but that's the last time my dad was like gung ho and ready to, like, yeah, we gotta do this. It wasn't the same. The energy wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm. Who was that under?
So
was it Frostburg or Salisbury?
Frostburg. I'm sorry.
Frostburg. Okay.
That's what it was. Yeah. That whole experience was just like that was it for us. My favorite interaction during training camp. I think it's Otis Wansley won. I think who was that? I think I had an interaction with Mel Kaufman early on. That was pretty good. Me and Bostic had a couple interactions. I'm gonna have to sit down, Anthony. That's a great question, man. I gotta sit back and really go through the archives and see if I can remember any of those. Um, by the way, Coach pulled out his ball game 29-21. So LSU is 1-0. And I know you guys aren't everybody else isn't really watching this, but this young lady's game, there's already been like 2 highlight catches. Like SportsCenter might be just them.
Anthony said they starting to show that on ESPN the regional tournaments for the Little League World Series determine who's going to represent each region.
All right, Anthony, hold on. So KG knows what I'm about to say, but there's only one team that the Midnight Rider roots for when it comes to the Little League World Series, and that is the country Curacao. That is my home country only for the Little League World Series. All the rest of the time, I'm a U.S. citizen. I rock with the USA teams. Now, if Curacao is not in it, I will root for whatever team represents the USA. I'll root for them. But if Team Curacao is in, it's Curacao 1, Team USA 2. And if they play in the finals, I'm still rooting for Curacao. So don't ask. There ain't no questions. How we in or whatever it is. But that is my home country only during the Little League World Series.
Anthony asked a question. He said, KG, being that you were born and raised in the DMV area, how did you become a Yankee fan with your family? Oh, was my family originally from the Bronx? I thought you would have been loyal to all the teams from the beginning in the DMV. Anthony, it's a funny story. Great story. I'm gonna tell it fast as I can.
This is your landmark story right here. Like this is your beta. This is your 1 seed. Your 2 is the Michigan story. I just want to throw that out there because I just need to throw a shot at you. So you good? Go ahead.
My godmother taught me the game of baseball when I was young. She taught me when I was really, really young. Because she was a big Orioles fan. And it was around 93, 94. The Orioles weren't winning, and I was like, I got to pick a baseball team. And I saw the Yankees. It was Danny Tartable. And I was playing a game, and he was knocking home. It was MLBPA baseball on Super Nintendo. No, it was on Sega. Playing it at my cousin's house. And I was using the Yankees, and I was like, I think I'm going to be a Yankees fan. And then it got, because I didn't want to be a Mariners fan because everybody loved Ken Griffey and Jay Buhner and those guys. I'm not a bandwagon guy, so then I heard about this shortstop from Michigan named Derek Jeter. And, you hear reports, and I was getting Sports Illustrated at the time, everybody talking about him. I was like, I think I'm a Derek Jeter fan. The rest is history, man. I've been a Yankee fan ever since. The next thing I know, he becomes the greatest shortstop of all time. We become world champions, team of the 90s. It's all said and done after that. I mean, but I got love for the O's. And when the Nats came, I got love for the Nats. But I'm a Yankee fan through and through. My godmother used to say the only thing that she didn't like about how I was raised is that I became a Yankee fan. She said I did everything right except you becoming a Yankee fan. She said, I don't know how I messed that up. And I used to always look at her dead in her eye. 3 words, baby. Derek Sanderson Jeter. And she just say, just going away from around. Just go. Just go. Get away from around here. And we would argue back and forth. Honestly, one of the last conversations we had was about sitting down and watching the Yankees-Orioles series. And we was going to get crabs And I told her, I was like, whatever you want with the crabs, we'll get that. I said, let's get a bushel and we can sit at your house. She said, okay. That was a weekend series. She passed away the Wednesday before that series. So it's been tough. That was 2003. So I haven't really watched the Yankees-Orioles series since. I really don't watch them. I watch everything else, but I won't watch Yankees-Orioles. Don't feel the same anymore, but that's what grief does to you.
Yeah, buddy. I understand that one.
So,
right,
Anthony said, did you guys have a great backup behind Riggins, or was Riggins the dominant back during the Hogs era?
It was Riggins. So Riggins was the tailback. He got all the carries. The only people after Riggo, it was Joe Washington for a spell. You had Giaquinto. You had Wansley as the fullback. I can't really. Then they went to George Rogers. It was interesting, man. We had a good time. Yo, I got to call my cousin after this game is over. This little shorty, number 1 for Austin, Texas. She plays center. They just ran a play for her where they basically had 2 receivers. It's 5-on-5, so they had 2 receivers to the left of the center. They both run crosses. She basically comes up and out of the crosses on like a corner, catches it, shakes the person, scores 6, and then she catches the conversion. So it's 21-6. Denver is struggling. But that's also because Austin, Texas is very good. I'm sorry, KG. I don't mean to keep hitting USA flag updates on you, bro. But
you're good.
This is I didn't think I was gonna be this into it. I swear to God, I did. You know what struggled? I'm gonna tell you one thing that struggled now because the way they did it, they messed it up. Is the TBT tournament. The TBT used to be the joint where all the alumni teams play, and the thing they messed up on was they expanded it too much, because it's around that time for that to happen if it hasn't already started. But they put too many teams in it. Like, I think it used to be like a 16 team thing, and like everybody got $1 million if you want it. And I don't know what, and that's it. It's winner take all. But now I think it's so many games or so many teams that it doesn't sit in the front of my mind like it used to. And because of that expansion, it's just ruined.
I understand that. Let's get to what you're eating and let's get on up out of here.
I don't already season. Shout out to Harris Teeter, man. Because I don't know what they did lately, but they've been throwing the steaks on sale again. So I got me 2 nice little T-bones for $22. Cooked one yesterday. About to cook one probably in the next 15 minutes. I got my bucket of fried chicken, so later on when I get hungry, I think I got 2 thighs and a breast left. So I got my Harris Teeter fried chicken. I'm good to go. So I close out my weekend, man.
That's a good closeout. I got a taste for salad today. I got a taste for salad, but I gotta, you gotta get fresh lettuce because I don't want, that bag shit.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't think I got a place to rewind, but I thought I heard you say you wanted a salad.
Yes.
With huh?
Yeah.
They got but it's not E. coli, it's the exploding doodle thing. You gonna still eat a salad?
But that's the bag shit. That's why you got to get the fresh shit.
Oh, okay.
Get a fresh hit. That's why I said none of the bag shit. You got to get a fresh head of lettuce.
Yeah. I don't know about this.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I like to lose weight, but not like that. But yeah, I think that I'm gonna keep it light. Because the weather's nice. It's like damn, the weather's nice like this. Yeah.
I think I got to take my I think I'm doing tomorrow when after I finish up with coaching them. I think I'm doing chicken tacos tomorrow. So I might have to go get me some pico de gallo and stuff. Ooh, here we go.
We're gonna have roasted jerk chicken and a whole roasted big can chicken with rice and peas and boiled cabbage. Ooh, Lord. And he said, I'm going to bring up a guy from your area, played at Dunbar. Do you guys remember seeing Willie Williams, the former linebacker from the Hurricanes when he was in high school?
That name, I'm going to be honest with you, that name doesn't ring a bell.
Nah.
Willie Williams. I mean, also, some of my stuff, maybe that'll be one of our other features maybe next week. I got to remember who half these cats were, but I saw some cats when my dad refereed. I don't know if I remember all their names though. For some reason, I always remember Derek Fenner, and I thought I saw him. But this area is flush with talent, man. And you know the show you might want to do? There's a Pretenders or Contenders. I think it's called Barbershop Talk. And Coach Powell has, and if I find it, God, I can't post it and send it to you. Maybe when I find it, Tuesday, if you're in the comments Tuesday or Monday, I'll try to see what day it was, or what episode it was. But we had I think it was 5 or 6 coaches. I know Coach Rapp was on it. The Suitland coach was on it. And we had a couple other guys, but they kind of went down memory lane because our other coaches also played in the area. So you would probably enjoy that segment or that episode because it talks about the young guys. We talk about the Joe Haydens. We talk about what's the linebacker from the 49ers? Not Willis, Ara Bowman. You know, we talk about Doc Merrow, who's a friend of mine. I didn't know he was that good in high school until everybody started telling me about him. Because I was in college at that time, so I didn't get a chance to really pay attention to it or see him. You know, my buddy's son, Lamar Thomas Flash, at Friendly with Joe Hayden and company. There's a bunch of guys that get mentioned. So that would probably be a good episode for you to check out and catch. And I'll see if Coach remembers the episode so we can tell you tomorrow or tell you Tuesday.
All right. All right. Final thoughts before we go.
Hey man, if y'all are interested, I know if you're in the Sideline Junkies chat, we got the guys playing their games. I don't think I'm gonna do another show because we went 2. So I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna give an update. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll like it. And then I just gotta make sure I don't use up so stay on alert because I might send you something because I need you to do it in Chat GPT because I'm out of my free uses for the day.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. So but yeah, with that being said, just enjoy the Team USA. No, not that Lamar Thomas. This Lamar Thomas actually went to Ohio State. And he actually got the luxury of wearing the number 7. So if you were in the early years of me with the Junkies, I used to have a 10 with Conti on the back of it in my curtains, and I had a 7 Ohio State jersey, which was his, and I gifted it to my son because I just wanted him to have something that was passed down.
That's always wonderful. Give him something that's passed down.
Yeah.
Hey man, enjoy.
This is fun. This is fun. And this is the part where I tell friends all the time is KG always comes in like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like 20, 25 minutes. And I just laugh every time he says it. Because I know we're gonna go longer than that. I know it.
Yeah, I kind of looked at this. I was like, I don't know. But,
I got up this morning, I looked at the schedule myself.
Happen.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I looked at the schedule myself. I was like, ooh, this looks kind of light. Oh, we'll see. But we do this every time.
Every time. I'll say this to close it out. The wait is over. We start in training camp. What is that? Next Friday, I believe.
No, training camp is Wednesday.
No, the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's either Friday or Saturday.
Hall of Fame game is Thursday, August 6th.
Okay.
So that's Thursday after next. So we got 2 weeks, and then the season kicks off with the Hall of Fame game. So that's how you know you're back in the thick of things, and it's about to be wonderful around these parts yet again. So
Yeah, I mean, all gas, no brakes.
thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Midnight Rider. Chef's kiss, man. That's all I'm gonna say is chef's kiss. Like exactly what I thought you was gonna do. You did that plus more. So
I appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely wonderful.
Always, always a pleasure, man. You know how it goes.
Everybody, go enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be back tomorrow. Drive time at 5. Pretenders or Contenders at 7. And then Midnight Rider and myself will be back on Tuesday right after Flying Brian and Lee Ice Unapologetic at 6:30. We'll be back at 7:45. So until then.
Did I send you the freezer?
No.
Oh, I designed the freezer for Lee Ice. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
You'll get it. You'll love it.
That's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. We
did a lot of overtime. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Look, we write-ups coming, but we are out of
here.